What is up, guys? Blackout Bill here with the first how-to video, sort of how-to, with the tripod. I won't bounce all over the place. It might look like a decent video. Probably not, but that's okay. So before I get this out of the way, like, subscribe. Let's get the viewers up so I can make $102 a year. All right, anyway, working on a Nissan Xterra. This is an 04, it's my wife's. If you have more questions about cars and how they actually do stuff, I suggest you go to Eric the Car Guy. He does work on everything. And we're gonna do a valve cover gasket pair. 04 Xterras, the 05s. A lot of them will leak in the valve cover gasket. Mine has gotten so bad where the truck is now smoking and causing a misfire in the cylinders. So we're gonna tackle this one. Luckily, it's not the driver's side. There is a couple guys posting videos on how to take all this stuff apart. I am not one of those guys. So I will be doing the timing belt on this truck eventually, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, so let's get started. So this is my first time working on her truck in depth. Just looking up top here, I'll have to clearly take apart the wiring harness. Looks like a couple clips here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't look too bad. This looks to be in the way, but we'll probably leave it. Another one in the way, leave it. Looks like her PCV oil valve back here will have to come out, but I don't think I have to disconnect the hoses. A couple of cooling lines back here I'll probably leave in. There are the main cover bolts, which look to be screws all around the outside of it. There's one, there's another one. So we'll be hitting all of those. And it doesn't look too bad. Probably pull the spark plugs out. 1, the V6, 2, 3. Check those because I'm pretty sure that plug is fouling back there because it is pretty heavy on the leaking. Alright, so moving right along here. Plug these two guys. The other plug rests on the bracket. You just slide them off. These two are on another piece of the bracket. Probably come off too. Might work them. I'll let you know if I take those off or just leave them on there. Probably have to take them off. This piece here was zip tied. Oh, I broke the zip tie, but I'm gonna leave it on there. It's clipped on there pretty good. So worst case scenario is I could re-zip tie it using the bracket. Doesn't have to be this clip, but you don't have to break it. If you want to keep it on there, you can. That's up to you. I just break stuff and put it back the best way I can. Mechanic by hobby, not by trade. Should note that out in the beginning. And 10 minutes in, your first poop comment of the day comes from this something in here. Little green plastic thing that popped out. Didn't even know it would pop out. Fell down into the engine bay. I ain't getting it out. Don't know what it's for. Probably holds the thing so the prongs don't bend. So when you pull these plugs off, be careful of the plastic pieces. This poop moment is brought to you by idiots everywhere. So things are coming apart. You actually can pop this. This is a clip. It's just a tabbed thing in here. If you can get underneath and squeeze the tabs, you can pull it up and save the zip tie. If you plan on taking the spark plugs out, note the firing order. It matters where they go back. So make sure that wire you tag it to this cylinder here, the middle wire. I don't know if I have to take them out or not. I'm going to, for the simple reasons I want to check that plug back there, make sure it is fouled up and full of oil. Otherwise, I'll have to dig deeper into why it's running a little rough. So everything is a part. Gonna hit the screws. All the plugs are basically off. Wiring harness out of the way, and we'll just hit the screws that are all around the outside of it. You might get some oil drippage, so be careful. If your truck is hot like mine is, some will spill on the manifold. It'll burn off. No problems. It'll burn off in time. You're not hurting nothing. If you're watching this video, hopefully you're watching this before you attempt this job and you're afraid of the job a little bit, as I always am, try tightening the bolts down. The 3 in the back where the leak is, super loose. Not super loose, but try tightening them down. Try tightening them down first before you get nuts. If you tighten them down and the leak stops, good to go. I'm probably thinking I could have avoided all this, but I'm halfway through it now. Okay, so we're gonna try to pull the cover. my gloves for this one because the engine's still hot. Oh, comes right up. Okay, good. Getting it back on is going to be probably trickier, but we'll get to that bridge when we cross it. Cross that bridge when we get there. Looks like I might be able to get that plastic piece. So, that's a lot of caked on oil. It's not a lot of miles in this truck. It's only 90,000. Looks like some really crusty oil stuck up in there. But, nevertheless, then there's our brake. So, remember I said just tighten the bolts. Make sure you recheck it because sure enough, right where it's leaking, yep, right where it's leaking, we got a crack. So this had to be changed no matter what. So we take this off, clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, chemo.
I know. I knew that after I asked the question. So the cover came right off. The gasket fits inside the cover, so when I put the new one on, I'll see if I can put something in there to hold it. So I don't have to take these two. These are really the only two lines that you gotta wiggle the cap underneath. If I can avoid taking them off, I'm gonna. So that's it. Cover's off.
You get a lot of views with that.
Okay. So I'll be able to keep those lines attached because there's little tabs here. One, two. So when I put the gasket in, hopefully I'll be able to bend those tabs and the gasket will stay in place so I can wiggle the cover right back on with it in place. So, I'm just trying to clean up the area around where the new gasket's going to go, and there's a lot of that caked on oil everywhere. It's kind of fallen in, so instead of letting it sit there and gung up the engine, I'm going to hit it with the shop vac really quick. Put it on the wet dry vac setting for the wet. It'll get some oil in there, probably ruin it in the end, but I paid $10 for it. So before you go ahead and vacuum up oil, just make sure you're okay with ruining your equipment. I don't want to vacuum up the oil, I just want to vacuum up the chunk flakes of sludge going. Let me scrape it off the gasket. Alright, job complete. Wires attached, torque down nuts, bolts, screws. Job done with pliers, Phillips, and a regular screwdriver. Passenger side 04 Xterra valve cover gasket. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Suggestions, comments, whatever. Blackout Bill, signing off.